Hey there everyone, welcome back to another video. And I have got some, well, I think it's exciting anyway, news. I bought a drone. That's right. This is the Ruko F11 GIM with 2x gimbal. And I actually bought this, well, for one, to play with, but then also to add to my camera arsenal with making YouTube videos. So I've actually, this is not an unboxing section here because I've already opened it and I've already flown it a few times. And I've got some video to show you, but there's a little bit of a problem. You see, I'm recording this on my cell phone. Now the phone is also the control app for the drone. So I can't actually record video of me flying the drone because I'm using the phone to fly the drone. If you see what I'm getting at. So I got on Amazon and I ordered myself a 4K camcorder. Came with a shotgun mic, absolutely terrible quality mic, very good camera. Mic is trash. I mean, you get more than 3 feet away from it and it sounds like you're talking from 300 feet away. So that's no good. So the problem now with the camcorder is that the jacks, the input jacks and the microphones for my lapel mics and all my other stuff, equipment, I've got a headset and several lapel mics, doesn't work with the camera. Works with the phone, which is why I bought them, but doesn't work with the camera. So I can shoot video, but no audio. And I haven't been able to figure out how to shoot audio through the drone controller. It's weird because I have done it a couple of times, but I haven't been, it was like an accident. I just happened to push the right button or the wrong button or something and started taping. So I'm not really sure how to get that back. So until then, I'm going to be doing voiceovers after the fact. I'm going to be like this. I'll record the soundtrack and then I will add that into the video using Adobe Rush. And yeah, I mean, it'll work. It's just I'm not going to be able to really be out in the field talking into the camera, explaining what I'm doing. It'll have to be voiceover after I've shot it, until I can figure this audio problem thing out. But I think it's going to add some really exciting flair to my YouTube videos. I'm very excited about it. As I said, I've already had it out and I have used it 3 times. I've actually taken it up to 400 feet twice. And let me open it up and show you what I got, and then I'll talk about it. Okay, this is the box that it came in. Very good box too, by the way. Very nice. I mean, it's cardboard, very good box. It's just a box, right? But it came with these codes you can scan for downloading the app to your phone. It actually runs on 2 different phones. It runs on Apple and Android. Mine is an Android. It comes with this nice little case. Now, this is not a hard case. It's not like plastic. It's kind of like a really thick paper, like a cardboard or something, with cloth glued over it. But still, it is crushable, so you wouldn't want to take it through an airport or something. But for just transporting around, carrying it, keeping it safe up on the shelf, taking it out into the field, it's pretty good, actually. It's got these 2 zippers. And then when you open it up, okay, here you get a spare battery, the controller, which I'll open up and talk about a little bit, the drone itself, which I'm going to open up, and then you get several mini USB cables for recharging, and you get this Ruko quick setup guide, which could come in pretty handy out in the field, and you get these 3 codes to download the app and to download a video guide. So you can download it for Android or Apple, and then you can download a video guide too, all free. So that's kind of cool. And then of course these little mini USB cables. The manual, which is in English, even though you know, you can tell English is not their primary language. Yeah, but even so, it's readable, and they'll say something occasionally in a way that somebody who speaks English as a first language would not say, like for the landing in the safe place. Yeah, we just don't say that, but it's still, yeah, you know what they mean. It's usable. And then you get a set of extra propeller blades, because that's usually what's like that. See, that's usually what's going to break first when you crash it. And they're just plastic, kind of flimsy plastic, lightweight. So you get an extra set of blades, an Allen wrench, and a screw, which can make minor repairs of the propellers out in the field, pretty easy to get back to work. So that's cool. Now the drone, it's foldable, right? And you want to open the top ones first, and then the bottom ones. Otherwise, the legs here on the front interfere with the back part. And you can tell that here they just open up and they just kind of snap into place, and you can hear them. So again, top one, bottom one, lock them into place. Got a gimbal cover on the camera, which recommended that you keep it on when it's not in use to protect the camera. It's a 2-axis gimbal, and what that means is, if you can see, as the drone rope moving around, the camera holds steady. So it gives you an almost rock steady video. It's lightweight, easy to use. The battery takes up, I think, about half of it. This is the battery. And it's got these 2 clips here on the side that you press, and the battery just lifts right out. It's a lithium-ion battery. It has a 28-minute flight time per battery, and you get 2 batteries. So you 56 minutes flight time. But it takes about 4.5 hours to charge each battery. So if you have 2 adapters, which are not included, you can go out for about an hour's flight time every 4.5 hours, depending on how low you run your batteries down. If you have 1 adapter, you're talking about 1 flight a day, basically. Real 4K camera, not a fake one. This is real. And it has got a few nice little options with it, but this is not the Pro version. And there are a few things that it doesn't have. It does not have obstacle avoidance, which I don't really want and don't use anyway. It doesn't come with a charging stand, obviously. It's really, after flying it for several days, I would say it's probably at the low end of entry professional grade, in that it's capable of doing enough that if somebody has some experience and skill with it and had a talent for video photography, could do some really cool stuff with this. It's capable of doing that. Remote. This is what holds your phone. Okay. And it comes with these 2 fake antennas here. I have no idea why, because these things don't actually do anything. They're fake. The antennas are internal, but they look cool, I guess. And then you've got this folding handle here that folds out. And even though it looks like it's got these slots here that looks like you could put your phone in it, an average phone is just not going to fit in there. Even my Android, it's like this much too long, won't fit in it. But it fits in here very nicely. And the controls on this are very ergonomically designed and very simple. You got 2 joysticks, you've got a few buttons, you've got a backlit display screen. These are not touch buttons, this is just a backlit display screen. You've got record camera buttons, and then you've got your gimbal controls, zoom and gimbal up, gimbal down. Now, the thing on that is the camera has some zoom capability, 5x zoom, and it has some vertical up and down pitch, but it doesn't have any yaw side to side. The yaw is limited specifically for keeping the camera on track, and so it's got no left or right capability. And it's got, well, it does have a couple of sensors. You can see a couple of sensors here on the bottom. Okay, so it can tell where the ground is. It's got no sensors on the back or on the sides. So when you're flying this thing, if you're in a confined or tight space and you're going left or right or back or something, you could run into something because you can't see it. Now you can always rotate around and get your bearings, but you can't see it just by, you can't keep the camera still, or can't keep the drone still and just move the camera and check to see where you're at. You got to swing the whole drone around. But like I said, I've had it out several times. I have flown a remote controlled Apache helicopter in the past, but as I was saying, I have owned a remote controlled Apache miniature helicopter many years ago, and I mean, just to be blunt, it was more work and effort to keep the thing in the air than it was fun. I mean, it wanted to just fall out of the sky, and it took every ounce of focus and concentration just to keep the thing up in the air and not, flying off into a wall or something. It was a real pain in the butt. I crashed it. I bought a repair kit, didn't repair it, set it up on a shelf back in the library, and a couple of years later, I gave it away to somebody. It just wasn't fun. This, however, is a pure joy to fly. If you get into trouble with it, all you've got to do is just let go of the joysticks and it will stop right where it's at. So if you get it coming down too fast and you kind of freaking out, oh my God, what do I do? Just take your thumb off the joystick and it will level itself out and stop. Pretty cool, actually. It gives you some blinking indicator lights here on your battery status, and it's got also blinking lights, white lights here, and it's got blue lights in the back here. So like when it's in the air above your head, you can kind of tell how it's oriented, even if it's up high enough that you can't see the camera. You can see the lights, and you can tell that the blue lights are in the back and the white lights are in the front. So you can kind of, looking up at it, you see, oh, there's the blue lights. Okay, that's the back. Or the blue lights are on this side. On this side, oh yeah, okay, the camera's pointing that way. And it kind of gives you your orientation on how you can straighten it up. Easy to calibrate. It's, I don't know, I would suggest that you, if you want a full review of it, go to YouTube and look it up. It's the Ruko F11 GIM. Ruko F11 GIM. And this is backwards because I've got my camera turned around so I can orient myself in the view screen. That's why I bought the camcorder, basically, so I could take my camera off and I could start getting real-time video, because look at this. This is actually my left hand, not my right. And this is actually my right hand, not my left. So this is left, this is right. I know, it's weird. So I'm going to go out now and do some flying, record it. I'm going to dump all that video into Adobe Rush, and I'll put together a fairly decent video to show to you, I hope, anyway. $400, $433 actually to get it to my doorstep. Took me about 4 days to get it, so that's not bad at all. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm really having some fun with it, and I can see some serious potential with this. Even if you have an interest maybe in starting a business in video photography, but you don't have or don't want to spend an arm and a leg on equipment, because you likely are going to crash it eventually learning at least once. This is actually a good little camera to get started with, because it's got enough capability that you can shoot some really outstanding video with it. It may not be as stable as a bigger, more expensive one. You get better camera capability with a larger drone. I mean, you get what you pay for. You can spend $400 or you can spend $4,000. I mean, that's or $14,000, I suppose. That's up to you. For 400 bucks, this is a very good entry level drone. However, I would recommend this is not for kids. Now, they say on the box and in the all the pamphlets and stuff, 14 and up. I think if this was given to an average 14-year-old, they're probably going to crash and destroy it within the first week. Okay, and just because kids are kind of stupid and they're not going to take the time to learn how to use this thing, properly. They're going to get cocky with it and they're going to fly it into a tree. They're going to crash it into a wall, crash it into the TV or whatever. And it's probably not going to last very long. But for somebody who's serious about shooting video photography, or maybe even want to do some home movies or even get into some professional, amateur movies, this would be a great addition for your aerial photography. So let me go out and do some shooting and get it all into Adobe Rush and see what we got. Okay, so here I am taking off in the driveway after calibrating it. And it's very easy, really. You just give it a little bump on the left joystick and it'll just go up about 3 or 4 feet and stop, hover. Then you can rotate it around. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning here. The sun's is on the strong left. And whenever I get to facing into the sun even just a little bit there, you can see that interference with it. I'm not sure what to do with that. I'm wondering if maybe I could jerry rig a cone or something around the camera. It's a really small camera. It'd have to be something very small and very light and easily removable. Yes, I know I need to do a little landscaping around the house. Ha. Right now it's like 95 degrees and 90% humidity. Yeah, I'm staying in the air conditioning, guys. Like I said, it's 7 o'clock in the morning here and I was sweating like a pig by the time I got that drone down and back in the house. Almost 4:30 in the afternoon now, still showing 92 degrees. So anyway, we're going to go up to 100 feet and hover. And 100 feet is easily enough to clear any obstacles. There we are at 100 feet. We're going to go up to 200 feet. And this is my backyard. This is actually the Wheeler Wildlife Refuge, 35,000 acres. All inside the town limits. Used to be a swamp. Got drained back in the 1920s, 1930s. There's still an estuary back in there now, but the swamp is gone. Still plenty of mosquitoes though. So we'll do a little pan around the neighborhood. There's some farmland. We're surrounded by farmland and a golf course. There you can see the golf course. I'm zipping right by it. I'm going to focus in on that later as I get up higher. And a little low-hanging cloud. my neighbors. Okay, let's go up to 300 feet. "300 feet. Gimbal down a little. Rotate. Some more farmland. You get, even in the wildlife refuge, you get open pastures like that, farmland. Back into my neighborhood. And there, that pond surrounded by the trees and the green area there, that's part of the golf course. And then the rest of the subdivision, and then farmland. And then back into the wildlife refuge. All right, let's go up to 400 feet. And there we are, 400 feet. That is the maximum altitude that recreational drone flyers are allowed to fly by the FAA rules. So that's just as high as I can legally go. Which really, I mean, that's pretty good, you know, that's high. And it wasn't too many years ago, I would have had to have gone up in a hot air balloon or a helicopter to get this view. And while I was tempted to go flying out over that forest or out over the golf course, I restrained myself this time. This was only my third flight. I didn't want to get too cocky. But yeah, I mean, you can see once you get up that high, man, you can really go. It has a maximum range of 4,000 feet, which is, if I remember right, 1.67 kilometers, I think. Not quite a mile, which is 5,280 feet. Now we're going to go back down to 300. And then on down to 200. Here we are at 200. And then keep on descending until we get down to the ground. And like I said at the beginning, this was just a quick test flight. I really wasn't expecting anything, you know, super exciting or fantastic. It's getting familiar with the machine and the controls. Actually, this is the third time that I'd been up that high. The first time was actually kind of scary. It was almost like I was up there with it. I was almost afraid to look at the view screen. Yeah, it was so high up. But I was, almost afraid it was going to drop out of the sky. I guess because of my previous experience with that remote-controlled helicopter. And then, of course, we got this interference here from the sun, which is just off to the right. So you got to be careful. Either film on an overcast day when the sun's behind a cloud, or make sure the sun's a little bit behind you. If it's straight left or right or in front, you're going to get this kind of interference. So here we are coming back down about 20 feet maybe. Yeah, I wanted to go out running down the street, but look at all those power lines. I thought, yeah, better not. Better just bring it in. Bring it in for a safe landing. The battery was starting to get low anyway. So here we are down, about 6 feet or so. Going to bring it back over to its takeoff point and land it manually. I'm not going to use the return to home feature. And the thing about this drone is the closer to the ground you fly it, the harder it is to keep it stable. And that's because the prop wash creates turbulence underneath it, hitting the ground, bouncing back up against it. Plus it's got those sensors that knows it's getting close to the ground, and it wants to avoid that. It wants to stay about 6 feet and up. Between 6 feet and 10 feet, it really stabilizes out. But right now it's like a couple of feet, and it really wants to go back up. If it can't go up, it's trying to go to the side to get away from it. There we go, down. Motor off.